guys, we have a big breaking news coming out. Florida issues crackdown on Chinese citizens buying real estate. And you guys already know China is buying land. I mean, they're buying tons of land. And they're buying land near US military bases. Now, it seems like Florida, even Texas, I believe, they are fighting back. They're making sure that our land is not being sold to foreigners. And that's mind-blowing. That's crazy how we are selling our properties, and most of them is going to China. Even California, the wildfire, you got certain foreigners buying those properties, and they're going to rebuild it, and they're going to make tons of money. All right, so it's just mind-blowing how you have certain political figures, mostly Democrats, are selling these lands to foreigners. All right, so Florida is saying it ends here. It ends here. All right, guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And for those of you that want to help and support the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also description box. Once again, thank you so much for your support. A federal appeals court sided with Florida this week in a case challenging its controversial ban on Chinese citizens buying real estate and land. The court's ruling allows the state to enforce its ban and paves the way for other states to introduce similar legislation. The Atlanta-based 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruled 2-1 on Tuesday that the Florida law introduced in 2023 did not violate federal law or discriminate against Asians. So it says here, what do we know about the ban? Well, in May 2023, Republican Governor Ron DeSantis signed into law Senate Bill 264, which restricted foreign principals from purchasing agricultural land and certain real estate in Florida. These, by definition, include various entities or individuals operating outside the U.S., among which are individuals who are not U.S. citizens or are not domiciled in the country. Now, the bill's text identifies China as a foreign country of concern, along with Russia, Iran, North Korea, Cuba, Venezuela, and Syria, specifying that any acquisition or purchase of real estate property in Florida by the People's Republic of China is prohibited. Man. It's just, again, this land belongs to the American people. It's just the way they selling our property, our land to foreigners, it's just basically selling our Constitution, just giving it away. It says here the ban is not limited to the Chinese Communist Party or its members. The law says that any person who is domiciled in the People's Republic of China and who is not a citizen or lawful permanent resident of the United States is forbidden from buying property in Florida. Essentially, any Chinese national who is not a U.S. citizen or a green card holder cannot buy a home in the Sunshine State. So basically saying, if you want to buy this land, you have to be a U.S. citizen. You have to show proof that you are a U.S. citizen. You must live in this property for, this state for like at least a few years. But if you want to buy a piece of land in Florida and you don't live here or weren't born here and you just came from China and now all of a sudden you want to buy this land, it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. I don't know who came out with the law that it's okay for them to buy land. I don't know who came out with that, but I guarantee it might have been a Democrat that came out with that law. Because look at California. I mean, every place that been burnt up, you got foreigners buying those property. It's crazy. The law came into effect on July 1st of 2023. In a news release later that year, Governor Ron DeSantis said the bill was the strongest legislation in the nation to fight back against foreign malign influence. Now, according to Ron DeSantis, the bill seeks to strengthen the state's security, protecting Floridians and Florida's infrastructure from agents like the Chinese Communist Party and other foreign adversaries. So what did the Court of Appeal decide? Shortly after the ban was signed into law in May of 2023, the American Civil Liberty Union filed a complaint in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Florida on behalf of 4 Chinese citizens living in Florida and a real estate brokerage firm helping Chinese and Chinese American buyers purchase property in the U.S. According to the complaint, the ban was in violation of the 14th Amendment in the Fair Housing Act, among other legislation which prohibits any discrimination in housing based on race or color, religion, sex, national origin, familial status, or disability. The issue was escalated to the Federal Court of Appeals, which last year blocked the law from being enforced pending the outcome of the appeal. This week, a different 11th Circuit panel sided with Florida, saying that ACLU lacked legal standing because the ban applied only to people domiciled in China and the Chinese nationals involved in the complaint have lived in the Sunshine State for years. If you look up China buying land near U.S. military base, there's a map that you're going to find. Actually, let me just show that really quick here, guys. Give me a second. Let me just pull that up really quick. Okay, here we go. Chinese-owned farmland in America. So you see all this area here. China is literally, give me a second here. Let me see if I can find something that's, there we go. Okay, so Chinese-owned farmland in America. So they buying up farmland near military base. That is absolutely mind-blowing. Crazy. So yes, Chinese companies have purchased land near U.S. military bases, which has raised significant national security concerns. A prominent example is the Fufeng Group purchase of land near Grand Forks Air Force Base in North Dakota, which ultimately led to the project being canceled due to security fears. The incident had prompted the U.S. government in increased scrutiny and take steps to block future land purchases in sensitive areas. Oh, now they want to do it. Now they want to, put all these laws that we can't be selling lands near U.S. military bases. I don't know what's going on with America. It just, we downgraded IQ and everything. It just, unbelievable. They're taking advantage of us. We have some, those in the spotlights are weak. Weak. Oh, man. All right, so it says here, the court also ruled that the Florida ban was not in violation of anti-discrimination federal laws. Once again, national, individual, land, and food security concerns motivated the law's enactment. All right, so Ashley Gorski, a senior staff attorney with the ACLU's National Security Project said in a statement following the ruling, all people, regardless of where they come from, should be free to buy homes and build lives in Florida without fear of discrimination. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. All right, because again, you can't go to other people's country and buy their land. They're not going to sell it to you. Certain countries, they don't allow that. They don't allow it. So again, people, look, if we allow foreigners to buy our land, we're not going to have a land. We're not going to have a country. We're not going to have a country. All right, guys. So the rest I'm going to leave in the description box. But what are your thoughts? I mean, again, if we keep continuing, selling lands to foreigners, we're not going to have nothing. We're not going to have, actually, we will work for them and they will be our master. Again, we need to keep ours, period. But we have some sorry politicians, very weak. They sell lands and then a decade later, we're making a mistake here. Duh. But it's too late now. I just feel like a lot of those in the spotlights, the politicians, they were giving up to reprobate mind. They just don't know what's going on. They just lost. Anyway, guys, like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.